Talking about Goodfellas, you were saying what a joy Joe Pesci is to work with for you. Can you talk about that?
Joe is, I don't know, it's a long time since we did the Criterion, I don't know what I said. But Joe, we did Casino after that together as well. And he's very funny. I mean, he's, that whole story he did about You're a Funny Guy, that wasn't scripted. I mean, that was something that really happened to a friend of his. And he totally just sort of blew everyone away that day when he did that. And I think it's one of the most memorable scenes in the movie. But Joe doesn't. It's sort of disappointing he doesn't work a lot anymore. He just decided to play golf and hang out. I'm sure if somebody offers him some great leading man role, he'll do it. But otherwise, I think he's moved on.
And it's a period piece. I was thinking about that. I mean, and then all three projects that we're going to look at today, all three films are really period pieces. What was that like for you as the producer? And the Copacabana scenes? And
well, Goodfellas, I mean, it was the locations. A lot of things still existed in some state, and the clothes are very distinctive. But, I mean, Age of Innocence, I guess. Last Temptation, actually, the costumes, well, Morocco, it still looked like the biblical. So there wasn't a lot of the sets and stuff, and it didn't even cost much because everything was sort of built out of mud and straw. And the costumes, we talked about there was a false start on the movie, and all the costumes had been manufactured at great expense and were sold at they were trying to recoup their money. So they sold all the costumes to, I don't know if it's still called Angels in London, which is a big costume house. And so we went to the costume house, and we were literally going through the racks, and we found most of the costumes that were actually there for rental. So we pulled a whole bunch of them out. So the costumes, again, it was kind of biblical, so they were not terribly difficult. Age of Innocence, all the costumes were made, and I mean, to me, that's one of the things I really enjoy. And Dante Ferretti did the sets, and we went. We had to kind of do that movie for a reasonable amount of money because it was a period movie and it was a difficult subject, and they weren't quite sure who the audience would be. So we did a lot of it. We shot a lot of it in Troy, New York, in real locations, and some in Brooklyn. And there were a few huge sets. One of them was the set where they have sort of ball. Mm-hmm. That was actually a set that was built in, I think, Astoria. So, I mean, to me, that's the fun and the challenge, but also the fun for me as a producer. I mean, I really enjoy it sort of almost as an exercise in producing. Sort of figuring out the plan and how to do it. And, just hiring the crew and people that know how to deal with those things.
How much of a budget did you have for Goodfellas, and how much pre-production time did you have for that film?
Goodfellas was we had a fairly short schedule and not a terribly long pre-production, even though it was period. It was most of the locations were existing locations that were dressed or somehow changed, but we didn't really build any sets. So if you don't have to build sets, then your pre-production, you can even do pre-production 8 weeks. If you have to build sets, then you need a much longer lead time. So that, I think we probably had 8 weeks, maybe 10 weeks. Most of the actors were local.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a huge budget. And the schedule, I think, was maybe 10 weeks or 12 weeks. It wasn't a long schedule.
Have you ever thought about some of these gangster movies being adopted by the hip-hop culture and raised to, almost like a godlike relevance? So that, do you know what I'm saying? And it's like gangster movies became gangster hip-hop, and these films. I was in the edit room today, working on the clips with the editors, word for word, they know that movie.
Yeah,
Word for word.
it's surprising. I mean, we were stunned that sort of when it came to the DVD, that the biggest kind of audience, you know, the sort of after the fact audience were younger women.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Like teenage girls. Yeah.
How do you explain that?
I can't. I don't know. And yes, everybody, you know, the lines, they know the lines. And I do think it's spawned a whole new kind of genre in a way.
Those guys are cute.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just that simple.
Maybe. I don't know. It's, we were stunned. We were like, kind of stunned and appalled. So it's